Hello everyone and welcome. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Firebug and today we'll be playing more of Jotunnslayer. Now I'm gonna be playing with a voiceover because apparently my mic didn't record it, so this is gonna be all a voiceover. Anyways, we're playing Seeress or Seeress. I still cannot not pronounce it correctly. And then we're going to be playing the new map, Visbraheim. So, the fireplace in Norse mythology. So, let's try that out. But if you enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like. Please comment down below about what character you like most in this game. Have you played it? Blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. And then if you don't want to miss out from the next video, please consider subscribing. I am a small YouTube channel, so I will be able to read all your comments because I since a small YouTube channel, I can read all the comments, right? If it was like a big channel, like massive, right? Then probably wouldn't be able to read all the comments, but yeah. Since the series is doing pretty well, it's like, why not? Why not just continue playing Jotunnslayer? I actually enjoy this game a lot. So much so that I do kind of sometimes play it off camera. But then I'm like, oh, wait, I need to make a video. So, but yeah, we'll be trying out Scotty. She's more of a ice goddess. It's funny because like Scotty also had Colder, right? So but I feel like Scotty is such a cool character in general. And this character that I'm playing, Seeress, right? I feel like she's pretty cool too. She has an ability that every time she gets hit, she gets a shield. And that shield lasts for like I think a second or two. And it makes her immune to all damage, like invincibility, just temporarily, right? Which is pretty cool. She also has a lot of like slows in her kit, and the curse. So, in my understanding, and don't quote me on this, the curse that she applies actually affects all the enemies. Well, not all the enemies, but enemies that are cursed, they take more damage from all sources, right? So if you apply a slow afterwards, it has a higher chance to freeze them. So it's pretty useful. And then Odin. The more I looked into Odin, the more I realized that he has a ability called the Ragnarok, and that's what you just saw there. The mini Ragnarok, right? And what that does is like a big AoE damage, and it affects bosses pretty well too. Affects the elites as well. Odin actually has another passive that actually helps you kill elites a little bit faster. Oh, and this okay, so these are the like something new, right? In this map, there is these kind of like big turrets or meteors, whatever you call them. I don't know what they're called. I'm bad at names. But yeah, if you don't kill them, they're just going to continuously spawn. And then it's going to make it harder for you to like kill everybody in this match. So just something to keep in mind. But this map is pretty cool. The one thing I don't like about this map is that there's just a big hole in the middle of the arena, which is kind of annoying to deal with, right? Especially if you need to go to one end to the other. But it's not super bad. I still like the map. I feel like it's cool. Especially when, of course, I'm quote-unquote Firebug, right? I'm always interested in like fire and shit like that. So the next character is going to be the Flame Sister. That's going to be kind of cool to play against. I mean, not against, but play with is what I meant to say. The other gods in this game, like Loki's okay. but I don't feel like he's super strong. Sadly enough, he's not like OP or anything. I think the more I've played behind the scenes, the more I started to realize, okay, so this god's really good at this, blah, 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 blah. What makes Scotty really good is that Scotty, you can freeze people, and every time she has a passive, and every time you freeze someone, you have a chance to heal. That makes it really, really good, in my opinion. Because like if you can consistently freeze people, you're gonna like have them stunned and freezed, right? And then you're healing at the same time. So it's pretty useful. The blacksmiths, I forgot what they're named, and what they're really good for is just like self buffs for your character. Odin's really good because he also has the spears. I feel like the spears are really good because the spears that I just got right now, they go through everything. So if he hits an enemy, it doesn't stop; it just keeps going. So it has itself like pass through, and it's pretty strong. But yeah, and the character I'm playing, Seeress or whatever you call her, she's pretty good because she has a lot of roots, stuns. I think she has a stun, and then she also has a ability which you're probably not going to see on this video, but she has an ability to slow time. And what does that mean? Is basically like she throws out a bubble, and anyone that's walking in it, it slows them, or sometimes it even freezes them. So it's pretty useful, and the cooldown on that ability is just consistent, right? So you can get the freeze a lot. I know I'm not really showing you guys like a lot of like the class skills or whatever. I'm kind of just going through what works best for me. Maybe later in the series I'll make a full guide for each character, because I think that'd be kind of cool, right? And then later in the series, I know I'm playing on normal, right? But later in the series I'm gonna probably play on a little bit hard mode. I know in each map it gets harder too. Like this one's a little bit harder than the last map, the snowy map, right? I think it's called Jotunheim. I could be wrong. But Mithraheim is just a little bit stronger. And then the other one, after this one, is going to be a little bit harder too. Even though it's on normal, it's going to have more enemy types, more elites, different like elements in the map. Like this one, it has that big turret or a big meteor, whatever, and it shoots down on you. So that's why it's always important to try to like kill it. But since there's just one and it's easier for me to just walk away, I think it's just fine. But the longer it stays, the longer it can spawn another one and another one and another one. So you don't want that to happen, right? But going back to what I was saying about the other gods, I feel like Loki isn't that strong, really. Like he has some good kits, right? But it's not like OP. What makes Freya kind of somewhat good is that she has a lot of like abilities that work with Seeress. And I know I didn't use Freya here, but she works really well with her, because Freya has a ability that you can heal, and she also has a bunch of like double XP. What makes Seeress really good is that she also has a passive, not just the curse, but she also has a passive, and that passive is every time there's like those XP crystals on the ground, it actually does nearby damage or applies a higher damage to enemies that are close to it. So that's why you see those little like I want to say diamond shapes above my head, and every time it fully stacks, right? It takes a while, but if it fully stacks, you get the actual self-absorb, and you can actually take all the crystals on the map. Not all of them. It's kind of like the same thing that when you open a chest and you get that magnet. That's what it's called, the magnet effect. So it's pretty cool. You can work around with this character with just XP. I think I chose something different. I went for more of like ability base, and I want to apply more curse. So she also has a passive that every time you do a curse, slow, burn, roots, I can't remember the other one, she actually deals additional more damage. And it's one of her kits, so it's pretty useful. But she works really well with Scotty, again. And just because you can freeze, you can also utilize like her abilities really well. With the freeze, right? Like you can apply slows, curse. I feel like Scotty's just really good. Just because you have an ability to freeze and to heal off of freeze. And then Scotty also has like majority of like abilities that can lower the damage taken, right? So if you're like consistently dying or whatever, or if you gain low, you can have some passives that reduce your damage taken. Thor, I feel like Thor is okay, but he's not like Idea. And I feel like Thor is good with certain characters, but not like majority of the characters, right? I think Thor would work really well with the Berserker class. So Berserker, since he's always up close, Thor's abilities like his hammer and all that work really well. So, but yeah, there's that doing more damage to elites passive, and that's pretty useful. Another thing that with Odin is that he also has a ability, right? That and it's sometimes it's really hard to get, but other times it's pretty useful. So Odin actually has an ability that you can have a self revive. It's pretty useful. So, but again, it's really hard to get, right? Because you have to keep like consistently re-roll it to get those really powerful like passives in the game, and that just affects with all all the gods in the game. But Odin's really strong. I feel like he's pretty decent, and he gives you a lot more rewards. He also has a passive. Every time you do pick Odin has a passive that you hear the ho ho ho. And that's just him giving you the additional like free reroll, right? So you can pick like in a passive ability, whatever, every time you level up, and then you hear the ho ho ho. Then you can choose an additional one. So that's what makes Odin really strong, is that you can sometimes not just get one, but you get two level ups at the same time. And I feel like that's why I pick Odin. And plus the mini Ragnarok. Right, that one's just really strong against like any enemy types, like elites, minis, all that. Even the bosses take a lot of damage the more you level it up. Another thing that you can do is that it's really important to try to get as much gold as you can. And the more gold, and I know I didn't really show this in the videos, but the more gold, the more that you can upgrade your character. And then of course, if every time you play a different character, you can sell all that you can sell all the gold, get like a full refund, and then just put all the points into the next character. And then putting most of the points for the gods really give you a huge boost, because they get a passive as soon as you pick up one or two of their abilities. But I think it's just one. And if you just pick up one of their abilities, you get the full benefit for their passives. So not only that the character gets a passive, but you get a passive. Well, let me say that again. Not only that you get the passive from your character, but you also get a passive from all the gods that you picked. So that makes it really interesting and different build crafts, right? But the more I'm trying to experiment with this game, like behind the scenes, trying to understand it a little bit more, the more I'm starting to like really enjoy this game. Just build crafting, be like, okay, this what works for me, and blah blah blah, and then hopefully I can go from playing normal to hard to insane. Insane's the hardest difficulty, so that'd be kind of cool to see something like that. But yeah, that's what I kind of got for understanding for this game. And again, I've been playing that behind the scenes a little bit, so don't be alarmed if I beat this and I don't unlock anything new. I've already unlocked some of the new characters. I know, kind of spoiler alert, but the reason why I played it behind the scenes and not just consistently record it, I mean, I had some recording, but for some reason this game, it shoots on my full screen. So usually on YouTube, right, I usually post videos that are only on 1920 by 1080, but I have a wide monitor, like a widescreen monitor. It still shoots at 1080, but since it's a widescreen, it's gonna have it to be I think it's, oh, let me look it up before I make a fool of myself. So I have two monitors, and one of my main monitors is a 2560 by 1080, right? It's just a widescreen monitor. Usually I just post videos and only play my games on 1920 by 1080, but since it's using my main monitor, and I tried recording it on the 1080p, that's why the my other video there, the last Jotunnslayer video with Revenant, that's why it only shot on the 1080p, because I was trying to like experiment with it. But I noticed with my other video that I had like this weird black bars on it, and it just didn't look right, especially on the phone, right? I know most viewers on YouTube, since I've been on YouTube for I think almost 2 years now, that most viewers usually watch your videos on their phone. So if it looks funny on the phone, then I feel like it affects the video, especially with the black bars on the side. Some people like it, some people don't. So I think majority of people don't like it. But in this video, I shot it with full screen. Kind of like the first video that I did with Berserker. So, but let me know in the comments either or if you like the my last video. If you haven't checked out my last video, played Revenant, and he's pretty cool. I really enjoy that character. I feel like he's top tier, one of the top tiers, because he just does so much damage. And then he also has the wolves and all that, just in his passive, right? And then you can build with more of his wolves, all that, which makes him really strong. And then he also just has natural crit in his kit, so that's why he's pretty OP, in my opinion. Berserker's not bad if you're playing more as like a tanky warrior, bruiser kind of guy. Seeress or Seeress, she's not bad, but I don't think she's top tier either. I feel like she's just like, I want to say A tier in my opinion. Like she has a lot of good things in her kit, but what makes the other character like Revenant really strong is just that he has so much more in his kit. Like the wolves can heal him. He has a crit, higher chance to crit, right? His basics is already even in the very beginning, he shoots 3 projectiles, not just 1. So it's just like a lot more easier for him to like clear everything. Right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if I can level up so I can fight the boss full, like as much XP or fully leveled as I can. I went for more attack speed. Why? Don't know. But I tried to like get as much more XP, but I was like, I don't want to waste more time. Because in this game, if you don't do the objectives, you won't be able to fight the boss. So, but here, right, since I leveled up so much, I kind of like do a lot of, like, see how the Ragnarok kind of did a lot of damage? Well, maybe not, but I'm doing a lot more damage than I expected. I was like, oh man. But this boss is actually, the first time I played him, he was actually a little bit hard. So, is he as hard as the other guy in the snowy area? Jotunheim, I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm pronouncing the snowy map wrong, but is he as strong as the other guy? Not really. I feel like this boss is not really strong. I feel like he has a lot of like abilities that you could just easily juke. And then they added like this fire pole in the area, so you have to like not stand in just one area. But look how fast I'm shredding him. That's just because I know what to build ahead of time, so that makes it really useful. But yeah, easy boss on normal. I bet the bosses, if you put it on a higher difficulty, they actually do a little bit more different abilities, animations, and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I know I yapped a lot, but if you enjoyed this kind of content, please let me know. And the next character, again, is going to be Flame Sister. So yeah, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All right. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
The fire burns!